7 British Grand Prix wins for Lewis Hamilton, and this one looked like it'd be plain sailing. Great pole position in qualifying, led the race as well, bit of pressure from Bottas. But who saw the ending coming? Absolutely crazy scenes in the final few laps. And still somehow Hamilton clung on for the victory. Let's look straight in at these punctures. So we'd heard for a few laps before, drivers complaining of vibrations on the tyres, and Bottas actually was slowing in the laps before his puncture, clearly not happy with what was going on with his front left. Then, as he's about to complete lap 49, the front left goes, and just through club corner and Vale, you can just see the front left starting to go, and this is the worst possible moment for Bottas because the pit lane entry is just gone. He's just missed his chance to get back into the pits. It's a really long lap at Silverstone to get back round on 3 wheels basically, and in a flash his chance of finishing second at least to Hamilton is gone, and he ended up with no points. The timing of his puncture was the worst possible moment, and it cost him a heap of points. Then we have Carlos Sainz gets a puncture in the McLaren. Sainz was having a good race in 5th place. Again, front left puncture. Now the front left takes a lot of work around Silverstone. There's a lot of fast right-handers, and always the outside front is the one that takes the most load. Sainz was then the second man in a couple of laps to have a puncture, and again, costly from 5th position. He was on for a really strong haul of points for McLaren. He drops out of the points as well. And you think, okay, that's it, big drama, but that's the end of the race. Oh no. Final lap, Lewis Hamilton gets a puncture from the race lead, and it looks like he might be about to lose it in a similar way to Bottas and Sainz. Now the thing for Hamilton was, the checker flag was almost in sight. He only had half a lap to go, and he managed to just limp it home ahead of Max Verstappen. Critically, Verstappen had just pitted. Red Bull pitted to put Verstappen on a new set of soft tyres, go for the fastest lap point, which he got, but he could have had the win. If Verstappen hadn't have pitted, he surely would have won the race, so long as his own tyre held together. He, in the end, managed to cut down a 34-second deficit on the final lap to just less than 6 seconds. It was a mighty effort with the fastest lap in the process, but because he took that pit stop, it just wasn't to be for him. Lewis Hamilton actually drove really well as well on the 3 wheels. It's a difficult thing to do. As soon as it went, he was crabbing on the straights, and the tyre starts flailing around. You've clearly got way limited grip, and it's a difficult moment. Luckily, he had that huge buffer. But if we look actually through the speed data of Hamilton, it's very interesting. So this is the final 2 laps then for Lewis Hamilton. In green, we've got the previous lap, lap 51, no puncture. In black, it's lap 52, the lap where he gets a puncture. And you can already see through Abbey, really fast right-hander, he's already slower through the apex speed, significantly down. And that is one of the corners where you can really help the left front by just going slower. Again, fast right-handers give the left front tyre a hard time. And Hamilton's been told on the radio, he knows there's no pressure from behind now. So he goes slower through the fast right. That's all good. 17 more corners to go. And what's bizarre is this was a race where Lewis Hamilton hadn't complained about the tyres. How many times have we heard him leading a Grand Prix and questioning the tyres? I can't remember the last one he won without questioning the tyres. This time he didn't, and it's the one where it lets go. Look, into Brooklands, and suddenly he feels the left front is deflating. He eases off just before the braking zone, brakes very early, and loses time through the apex. He now knows there's a problem. And actually, if we go on board with him through Luffield, you can see this really materialise. Suddenly, the left front's not working. Again, it's a right-hand corner where you need that left front working, and he's just understeering really, really wide, right up to the gravel. And now you can already see the tyre's deflating. There's a few sparks coming out from under the car where it's grinding against the tarmac. And this is a problem now. He's got a reasonable distance still to go, about 3 kilometres on 3 wheels. So we flip back to the speed data, and now look, Luffield, super, super slow. He's now hemorrhaging a lot of time to Verstappen. Look at the straight line speed between Luffield and Copse. Hamilton's just really measuring the throttle, about half speed from what he's done before. Copse corner again, very, very slow, and then he tries to accelerate a little bit on the exit. Always the traction zones, you've got a chance because that's where you use the rear tyres more than the front on slow speed acceleration. he's heard in his radio the gap to Verstappen. Basically, he knows what he needs to try and do. But again, Stowe corner, another one of those quick right-handers, and he's very, very slow at the apex, so he's really hemorrhaging time. Final corner panic. He goes in so deep at Vale, really late on the brakes. If we zoom in, he brakes slightly earlier than the previous lap, but he actually almost carries exactly the same entry speed than he's done without a puncture. He's got the front left completely locked up. That's doing no work at all at this point, and he's carrying so much speed. It's a left-hander. You can get away with it more because this time the loader's on the front right. Then he's very slow through the final couple of corners. But by that point, it doesn't really matter. Limps to the line, spectacular fashion, spectacularly slow speed to the checker flag, but a 7th win and a very well-deserved win.
That was close.
So that was a dramatic end to the race, but there was plenty of action through the race as well. For more analysis on the Albon Magnussen incident and for Grosjean's misdemeanours, check it out on F1 TV.